Welcome back to the X-Files podcast. Tonight we watched Mulder and Scully meet the were-monster.
Well, X-Files sure jumped the shark.
Ugh, can't we go back to the good old days? This was fantastic. I loved this. I guess that's the end of the podcast. All right. Um, yeah,
Peace out.
yeah. No, I knew this was going to be good though, because it was written by Darren Morgan, who is my favorite writer from the original X-Files run. He did a lot of great comedy episodes like Jose Chung's from Outer Space and Humbug. So
Mhm.
he's really good at comedy stuff, and they're always really outlandish, and this one was that, and it
This
was
was
great.
great. Yeah.
Laughed a lot.
Yeah, this was awesome. There's a bunch of little things too, like Mulder having the X-Files theme as his ringtone.
The X-Files theme is his ringtone. I lost it. So good. Yeah, I like too. They have Mulder is having another crisis of faith. You know, what have I been doing with my life? Are these monsters real? All of the things we thought
Is my
were
sister
real.
really a
Was
space
she really?
ghost?
All these things that we thought were creepy, unexplained things got explained, and he had this whole spiel about, these things were hoaxes and blah blah blah. But this episode was gonna prove to him once again that he can believe because these things can be real. And a more comedic
Because
take on his whole, spiel this season again about, was it real? Was it a
yeah,
hoax the whole time?
it's much better when it's comedic.
Well, and I mean, it sort of makes more sense with this one too. The aliens thing, he's seen too much to go back on that. The show's done too much with the alien conspiracy to go back on that, especially when it's a plot that they did do before in the
Mhm.
show, where Mulder's like, well, maybe it was just the government was messing with us all along. There is no alien conspiracy or whatever. I don't know. But like,
Mhm.
at least with the monster thing, it's kind of like, okay, well, all these things that didn't have explanations before. People have come out of the woodwork. Things have come out about why things are the way they are, and technology is a lot more modern. People can are capturing things more nowadays. It's a lot easier to disprove these kind of things, and they
Mhm.
did a more modern take. I liked the bits where Mulder's, messing with the phone, trying to get his camera to work, and it's pointed the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Scully's just along for the ride, having a good time.
Yeah. Like when she I don't know, tries to get him to believe again and then she goes, "Oh, I think you're full of crap."
You're bat crap crazy, but all
Yeah,
right.
that crap crazy.
Well, and it was this episode did kind of cover more about now that they're back to doing the X Files, what's kind of different now. Like the last episode had just sort of they were just into it and they go into the first case, but this one was sort of like, all right, well now we're back. Now it's a little bit different. A lot of these things have changed since we were here. What are we doing with our lives?
I do like the pace of this new X-Files though, like mentioned in the other ones, but it's like quick, like there's always something interesting happening. There's never like many walls in it.
It's funny too. This episode, nearly half of it is him talking to that Mulder talking to that guy by the grave
Mm-hmm.
and then flashing back. But it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like you're like, oh my gosh, this is going forever. It's just sort of, a different sort of structure to it.
Yeah.
I did like the tribute to Kim Manners too, with the headstone there.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. They had lots of loving references in it, like the Queequeg reference and things like that.
Yeah. Quick.
Queequeg was another thing that the writer Darren Morgan came up with,
Oh
because
yeah.
the Queequeg was introduced with that psychic who left it for Scully, and I think that was
Yeah.
another one of his episodes.
Okay.
When they finally catch the killer, he starts going in about when I was a child, I tortured small animals, and all right, save it. Oh, I had this big speech
Yeah,
planned.
save it for the trail. It was great. Oh, too, just like You see Scully get attacked, and then Mulder's like, "Oh, I gotta get there," and then she's already got him by the time he gets there.
Yeah, and that happens so often on the original show too, where she would like get in trouble, and then he'd have to. It would be for like dumb circumstances, she'd be like, "Oh, I go in, and it's obvious this is the killer. Oh no!" And then he'd have to save her. So it was nice to kind of gets her way
Yeah.
out.
We find out what the monster is. Like, it's this person that's turning into a lizard, but you find out it was actually a lizard turning into a human because he got bit by a were-human.
That was such a great twist.
It was amazing.
Like when he goes into the flashback and then he's just chilling out as a lizard, and then oh no,
Yeah.
and then I went and I got a job and I had to pay
Yeah.
my bills.
Yeah, just I felt compelled to do this as a stupid human.
Instinctually, I knew how to put clothes on. When he's like playing with the dog in the flashback.
And Scully stole it at the end.
Stole it at the end?
She took the dog.
Oh yeah, when she stole the dog. Yes, you want to come on with me? Yoink.
Queequeg 2.
Quake 2 Electric Boogaloo. We can rebuild him. We have the technology. Or the stupid lie when Scully comes in and has sex with him.
Yeah. It's like, as a human, I just feel compelled to lie about my sex life. Great.
Oh, there's so many good moments in this. Lots of slapsticky things. You know what was nice about? I was worried with the new X-Files that it would feel have too many modern TV sensibilities about it, if that makes sense. Like a lot of the time when they made shows in the 90s especially, it would just be the serious episodes are more serious, and if it's comedy, they just go all out, and there's sort of the separation. We made these jokes when we were watching it about how, what if Mulder and Scully acted like they did in the doofy episodes in the serious episodes? There's a little bit of a disconnect, but they still have a sense of humor in the serious stuff, of course. But it was nice that this one did just go all out, and it didn't really seem to verge into just parody territory. There were lots of references, but it didn't feel like, oh, this is kind of embarrassing.
No. I mean, it's the same as the X-Files always was.
That's what's nice about it. Like, it doesn't feel like it changed a lot, but it is updated.
Yeah. And like I said, I like the pace of the new one.
It had some nice effects. Like, the practical effects were really great in this.
Yeah, that looked nice. The lizard man.
I mean, you could transplant this episode into the old series and it would fit just fine. I mean, there's some things obviously that are more modern that wouldn't have been around back then, but overall the story, it fits perfectly with what they were doing before.
It's new phones.
When he's trying to one up Scully, like he's like they're doing I think it was an autopsy scene, and well, animals don't shoot blood from their eyeballs. Oh yeah, well.
Yeah. Take that, Scully.
The internet's not good for you, Mulder.
You shouldn't be on the internet.
Or when I like too when he's talking to Guy, the lizard guy. When he's like, "Oh yeah, I hate jackalopes. Yeah, they killed my friend. Jackalopes don't exist. They're a hoax. No, you tell that to my dead friend."
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, maybe all these stupid things aren't hoaxes. Do, 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 do.
Yeah, Mulder never gets a good look at him right until the end while he's shaking his hand.
Yeah.
His touch. He goes through the whole episode not really knowing if what he told him was true.
Yeah, it was a nice little bit of like, you could interpret it either way until the end, which seems very much in line with what they used to do.
Like how skeptical Scully is of everything, though, when she was the believer for certain parts of the old X-Files.
I was just thinking of the Brady Bunch episode near the
Yeah.
end when she and Reyes are like, look, we have proof now, and she's so happy about it, and like she was totally on board with
Yeah,
just like
for like a
magic
lot of the
whatever
ones with
exists.
yeah, when it
Yeah,
was
well,
just her and
past
Doggett, she was the believer in those
yeah,
two.
when Mulder left the show for a while, like she had to be the believer,
Yeah.
and then she
And there were
sort of
certain parts where Mulder was jaded in the old one too, and she was the believer. They switched them for a little bit.
yeah. Of course, at least for this one, you could say like she believes in more stuff now than she used to, but like if you say
Mhm.
someone's aware horny toad, it's a little bit hard to believe. Some
Yeah.
things are just crazy, so
Yeah,
maybe that's
exactly. But it's like you were saying, the aliens thing, it's kind of silly to be like, well, we don't think aliens exist when they've seen them. Both of them at this point have gotten good looks at aliens. So.
I mean, I guess to be fair, the show isn't saying they don't exist so much as a lot of it is the government using alien technology for other things. Like it isn't what you thought it was. Like maybe the aliens were here to help us or something, which still contradicts things that we've seen. But
Mm.
it's confusing, is what that is.
Space ghost sister.
Space Ghost Sister.
Space sister coast to coast.
So yeah, this was my favorite episode so far. I guess that's not surprising.
Yeah.
This,
Just needed them calling up Skinner at the end to tell him what happened, and he goes,
yeah.
X-Files house!
Smoking Man. Ah, they found out about the werehumans.
I
We've covered those up for years.
don't even believe in Cancer Man anymore, Scully. I don't think he
Mulder!
ever existed.
Mulder, you dumbass!
But we saw him blow up. I don't believe this.
Krychek, you thought I was dead just because I was shot in the head. Well,
And my ghost helped you. Well,
well, was it a ghost or just a psychotic hallucination? Could have been either.
well, except for like, was it either opened or closed the door for Mulder?
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh
he did something.
gosh. Don't ever try to find real answers. It's never gonna get them. This is halfway through the miniseries now. I think it's 6 or 7 episodes is what it is.
Yeah,
Almost halfway if it's 7. Gosh, this is flying by.
probably won't get any more comedy episodes. That's sad.
Well, we had a good one.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys haven't been checking out the X-Files revival, you should definitely at least check out that episode if you're curious about it. So,
Don't watch the rest of the crap. Just this.
well, I mean, this one's a good self-contained one. It
Stop being
didn't you
so harsh on X-Files, okay?
This is a good self-contained episode. There's no like overarching story going on. You could watch it at any time. It makes sense.
I mean, really, first you're bitching out the first 2 episodes of this, and now you're ragging on that virtual reality episode.
Truly the greatest example of the original series. Could the revival live up to first-person shooter?
That's the next episode. They're
How-
gonna try.
It's the follow-up.
We're coming up with First Person Shooter 2!
How amazing would that be if they did like a self-aware sequel to that episode?
Yeah. They took the piss out of it. It would be
Yeah.
funny.
You couldn't even be mad. You'd be like, that's amazing. Well, the lone gunmen are going to show up sometime. I don't know what episode.
As
but
game programmers.
yeah, actually, they're in the game. That's how they explain because they died, but they're just
We
virtual
were
reality.
in the
lone
virtual
gunmen.
reality the whole time.
The virtual gunmen.
Oh, we backed up our files and saved ourselves to floppy disks. Okay.
How many floppy disks did it take to save the lone gunman?
Had to split them with zips, of course, but
If you texture wrap us, we could be saved. Quick, get the keyboard, download us.
fucking magic computers, how do they work?
Scully's in the zone. Anyway, I went off on a tangent here. Check it out, guys. It's a lot of fun. I have, there are complaints, but so far the revival series, I'm enjoying it. So
better not have complained.
I'll cut out all the complaints. Don't worry about it. It'll be a 2-second podcast. Truth is out there. What did that mean? I don't know. Time to piss off Skinner again.